Hi, it's Breck Allen, and I want to do a little bit of work on Otis Redding, Dock of the Bay, and talk about some of the ingredients in the tone of this magnificent song and the great singing. He does he's got this soul thing, this gospel thing. He can kick it out like crazy. This song shows a kind of restraint, and yet it still has a lot of energy in it.
Yeah, the ship's sitting in the evening, sitting in the morning sun.
Okay. Sitting in the morning sun, sitting in the morning sun, and yet sitting in the morning sun, sitting versus your easiest thing, sitting in the morning sun, which you want to be good at too. But all this work, and you see me, if you look at any of my stuff, we talk a lot about direction and pulling back. There's an energy involved in that. Sitting, 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 well, sitting in the morning sun. He's doing some kind of shaping stuff too, and that's stuff that singers do that gives them their character. Sitting in the morning sun. And that's optional, dealer choice. Pulling back thing, though, you could do from any angle. Sitting in the morning sun, sitting in the morning sun. Be whatever rocks your boat. There's a bit of a mix in this. If it weren't, sitting in the morning sun, what you want to work on making that sound good. I mean, you make that charming and have a softness to it because your touch is great, which has everything to do with breath being right. If you see me sitting here, I'm sitting because it's trying to do lessons with everything, the phone and all this, chart if I need it, and we teach online. We sit, but used to be standing will make everything a click easier. But you want to be good at this. If I'm sitting, my sit bones are in that seat. I'm getting tall, opening this space. Nothing crazy. I'm not in some kind of hard posture. I'm in a open posture. My ribs are open. Why do I care? Because that's going to give me the touch. Sitting in the morning sun. If I were going to do that in a belt. But he's got all this color going on. Sit. Going from your littlest head voice. Well, mixed voice is everything in between that. If again, other lessons you'll see with me, I talk about these things. I'm getting a little bit of mix in here. This is called the mouth horn. Too much of this sitting in the morning sun is not going to be your friend. But if you can get just the right amount of that, almost to the belt. I like to say great mixes kind of go to the belt, but don't quite make it. Sitting in the morning, sitting in the morning, sitting in the morning sun, sitting in the morning sun. A little bit of air involved. Sitting in the morning sun, and I'll be sitting when the evening comes. There's a lot of energy in that, and that's what makes this. The restraint is in the dynamic, that he's not wanting this song to be a song. Well, sitting in the morning sun, and I'll be sitting when the evening comes. Not that that would be wrong. Again, dealer choice. But that's his artistic choice on that. That would be the stuff to work on for that tone. And that's most of the song until you get to the bridge.
Sitting on the
Dock of the bay, wasting time. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. It comes in and out of that in a little area. The airier you go, the more inefficient that tone becomes. Automatically costs more energy. Wasting time.
I'm just gonna sit.
Here we go, I think.
Look like nothing's gonna change.
Now that's harder than it looks. This is one of those where you hear a singer and you go to sing it and you're like, that is so much higher than I think it is. Looks like nothing gonna change. Looks like. Okay, that's the head voice. I just belted that full on. Yeah, well, it looks like nothing's gonna change. Get that? There's a place in the world for that. That, of course, exists. He's doing this cool thing. He is pulling that so far. Yeah, well, it looks like nothing's gonna change. He's just really burying that. It's a buried belt. Yeah, well, it looks like... He's adding some of that mix, or some of that shape. Yeah, well, it looks like nothing's gonna change. So it's got this real softness about it. And you're like, that's just not that high. And, you know, and he's just masterful of this. But that's what he's doing. So you would take this, yeah, it looks like... And if you could get to the belt without that being overly shouty. Yeah, well, it looks like, yeah, well, it looks like, yeah, well, it looks like, yeah, well, it looks like. He's kind of doling that out with like, stuffy nose, yeah, well, it looks like nothing's gonna change. And that's what he's doing. I would turn that into a, into a warm-up. I'd start lower. Like, yeah, it looks like, yeah, it looks like, yeah, it looks like, well, yeah, it looks like. See how buried that is? That's a D. I could easily, well, yeah, it looks like, belt that out. But this song has in it, again, this kind of built-in seeming restraint, and yet that restraint costs energy. Yeah, it looks like nothing's gonna change. Yeah, it looks like, well, yeah, it looks like nothing's gonna change. See, yeah, it looks like nothing's gonna change. So I would turn that into a warm-up until I got up to the key, beyond the key. So those are the ingredients of a masterful singer singing something that sounds like it has a restraint and yet costs a lot more energy than meets the eye. Have fun with that.